Alright guys, like it rained last night. The Civic out here. Got the 300, about to take it over to the shop and hopefully get this Avenue Performance wheel on there. I had to order a hub from Japan. Ordered it through Nengun Performance and had to wait a little while to get it. Ended up getting it in and just been busy. So gonna get that thing slapped on there, which I think is gonna look really nice. So it shouldn't be too bad. I had to order one from Japan because this car has the 4-wheel steering. It also has cruise control and everything built into the steering wheel. So I had to get a hub specific to that because there's an extra plate in there that reads where the 4-wheel steering is, which is very important on these, that you keep that perfectly centered when you're switching out the steering wheel and all that. So hopefully don't mess anything up because the 4-wheel steering actually works correctly on this car. If it didn't, then a lot of people lock it out and just get rid of that plate. But since all of my stuff worked, I wanted to keep it. So let's go see if we can get it put on. Alright guys, here is that hub, and it's the HKB Sports, and this is the Boss kit. Now they make some copies of this, but this is the original producer from Japan. And for this car, you need the ON112. And you'll notice it says Z32 here. It also says R32. Now this is either one of those cars with HICAS. So HICAS, what you see right there, is the 4-wheel steering. It's, I forget what the whole thing is, but this talks about each of the ones that they have. Now, the 115 will work on here because it's for HICAS. The 112 has your cruise control buttons. Now those buttons are built into the hub so that you can continue to have cruise control. And this one works for Nardi, Momo, Personal, Abarth, Indy, Raid, Itavolante. I don't know that I've ever heard that one, but pretty neat little setup here. But this is the hub. So that's the hub. Now you see the back of the hub has the cutouts in there. So those little cutouts down in there, that's what gives you room for the HICAS equipment. And then you've got all your electrical plugs that are all in here to make all that run. Now on top, we have our 3 buttons for our cruise control, which will all be off the top of the wheel and everything will mount up. So that should be pretty cool. But yeah, these were fairly expensive too. If you got to buy one, they're not cheap by any means. So Nengun, like I said, had the cheapest price on them. I looked around a bunch, really just trying to do research. It's very hard. For one thing, I don't read Japanese, otherwise it could be easier. So I had to go off a bunch of websites to figure out what was what. But this is where I ordered the hub from, was Nengun Performance, which is pretty cool. Got one of their stickers to go in here too. So authentic JDM parts, no matter what car you have, Hondas and everything. So pretty cool though. All right guys, there's the beautiful Avenue wheel that to throw on here. First step to getting this horn pad off is the screw up under here, which is right there, and it is a small Phillips head, so that's what we got to get after. Pull that off there. All right guys, I pulled the screw out and it actually fell down in here, so now we just got to pop this up and just kind of pry it off of here. Ooh, kind of scary. There it is. There's our wires going to the cruise control and stuff. So this car does definitely not have an airbag. So if you have an airbag, it might be a little bit different, but this is for ones without an airbag. You can see that this is our horn button is actually made into the thing here. So this is your ground wire right here, and this is your hot wire coming on, and that's the one clip which plugs in right here. That same plug is right there. So there's our wires going in, and the middle wire on here shares the hot. So I'm not sure how all that hooks up. Oh, there it is. There's that horn button. You can see that they've already done that for you. So it's already wired up. So that's the horn button. And with the wires that Avenue gave us to hook up our horn button, we should just be able to connect directly onto it and just extend it, hook it directly into the horn, so that shouldn't be too bad. And then the other wire, it may already ground itself through the hub, so this is something to play around with, figure out. But this is a really cool hub. So I'm glad I waited on this. So the next thing we want to do is loosen up the main nut here. And this one, you can tell this has never been off this car. So I'm going to loosen this up, and you want to bring the nut out to the end of the stud, but not all the way off, because if you take it all the way off and try to get this wheel off, it can pop you in the head. If you leave the nut on there, then it'll only come up so far. Oh, there's our screw right there. Grab that out, and that just goes through the back right here, straight into that. So pretty cool. All right, guys, I've got a 1/2 inch socket and everything here. This is an impact socket, but it's a 19 millimeter. That's what we need for this right here. So what we're gonna do is just break this thing loose. It should lock into place. All right, it actually did hit a lock in there. So now all we have to do is break this thing loose. There we go. Like I said, don't pull the nut all the way off, leave it on there. And now we just have to try to work this thing off, which may take a little bit. If it won't come off this way, sometimes you'll have to use a puller, and you'll see that down inside here, there's threaded holes there. That's for you to run your puller in and actually pull this thing out. We may have to pull this bracket off if it won't come on off, so we'll see. So all I had to do was work the steering wheel back and forth, and it actually got loose for me. So now that there you go. Now it's working its way up. Now all we have to do is take the nut the rest of the way off. Now the steering wheel should come right off there. So that is it. Now this is your HICAS stuff. If this moves around or you pull this off, you can have major issues with your HICAS. So you do not want to do that. Now these two tabs right here are the whole reason this thing has two tabs cut out in it. So do not move that at all. It needs to stay perfectly straight. So I centered the wheel back up before I did this, and now this should drop directly in. So let's try that, and I will plug on my wires. Get it. All right. Oh. Well, the horn works. Let's see. There we go. There's our horn button. Horn works really good. So, some steering wheels and shafts will have a certain spot that they go in. This doesn't seem to have one, so what I'm going to do is just line it up in its hole and just put it as straight as I can get it, because it's got a top arrow there, which coincidentally lines up with the top button anyways, so should just be able to push it on there. Here it goes. That's pretty straight there. It drops. So that's the next notch, which doesn't seem very straight, so just get it right on the notch, push it on, and that's it. And that actually looks really good. All right, now you just take your nut, put that right back on, and this will be bolted up. And then as soon as we get this tight, all we have to do is bolt our steering wheel on. And this was super easy. This wasn't bad at all. All right, the hub is now on. Now we just have to figure out, one of the wires here can go right on here. We just got to figure out how to ground the other connection here to the hub, because that works automatically. So and then we just screw the wheel on here, bolt it on, be good to go. Okay, so I've got the one wire hooked up here, which has got plenty of length on it from the hub. I'm gonna take one of the Avenue wires and plug it on, and then probably change the end of it to a spade or something like that, so I can kind of slide it in here to be able to get the horn, unless there's another piece in here. I don't know what this piece does. I don't exactly know what that is or why you would need that. Somebody can probably tell me. That may hold the button tighter or something, but figure that out. Alright guys, I went ahead and changed. This is one of the Avenue wires. I went ahead and added one of these to it. And right now this is the top. So what I'll do is I'll just line it up. And then the wire here, I will stick under the bottom screw right there. I mean, a little weird to mess with, but shouldn't be too bad. Should be good. Alright, I was able to get the other wire grounded against the metal here. Then the horn button goes down, and then the trim ring goes on top. And you don't have to use the trim ring, but I think it looks nice. It holds everything together. So, but the wheel looks pretty good. So I just need to finish up the rest of the bolts here, and I'm going to go in somewhat of a star pattern here. And now that that's done, now on to the goodies. Oh yeah. Guys, it's amazing how good this steering wheel is. Like, it's just super slick. Like, Avenue takes some amazing time with their steering wheels. It's just feels super good, just glides in your hand, and it's a shade smaller than the other wheel, which I like smaller wheels, especially on 90s cars. It gives you a little bit tighter steering. I mean, this car was really tight to begin with, but now it gives you a really tight. You think about turning, you're turning. So it's kind of nice. So, but I like that. And leg room wise, since I'm a bigger guy, it's usually a little tight. Usually the steering wheel hits me, and now this is a tiny bit smaller steering wheel. It actually works really good for me. So I'm super happy with this wheel. I haven't ever tried cruise control. I don't know that it works on this car or not, but when the light came on, cruise control, I wonder if I can set it. Oh, it's set. So the steering wheel works. So now the cruise control and then the cruise light is on down there in the corner, if you can see that down there. And the button worked. I don't know which one's accelerate and cancel. The one on the right is accelerate. So let's see if that'll work. Ah, it works. Cool. That's awesome. The cruise control works on this thing. And the hub works. That's pretty cool. So anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.